How's it going, brothers and sisters of the universe? Good to see you guys again, as it always is. If you're returning to the channel, then it's good to see you guys again. But if you're new to the channel, then hello, my name is Ian, and I'm here to help you evolve your mind, your body, and your spirit. Now, let's get right into it, shall we? Why do chosen ones have zero friends? For those of you that are unfamiliar with the term chosen one, it's pretty much just a person that you could say has been called on by God to fulfill his wish. Whatever that wish is by God, it's pretty much that person's purpose that needs to be filled on this planet. Now, many people will interpret the chosen one in many different ways, and that's fine, but the way I described it was pretty much the closest way I could say it. Other people are going to say, you know, you're chosen in the universe, and like you're also like a light worker or something like that. However you want to skin the cat, that's fine. To top that off, chosen ones are also considered people that have awakened. They have awareness. They're not asleep. They have a consciousness, and not in the sense of, oh, like I'm actually like awake, like how my eyes are open, but awake in terms of, you know, seeing what's really going on in the world and seeing that people are up to hella shady shit. There's specific types of people that are able to see things that no one else can see. Like, you know, what's going on with certain industries and companies in the world right now, and like things to do with politics, as well as being a person that just has a awareness with himself and their behaviors and their inner self, and they have a connection to the spiritual realm, or to God. That's what I'm trying to say, and that's how I describe it. Other people will probably describe it differently again, but to me, that's what a chosen one, or a conscious person, or a person that has awareness would be. Anyways, now why do chosen ones have zero friends? I'll tell you why. Because the moment that a chosen one awakens, they have their awakening to whatever experience that they have in their life. They have a hard time being friends with just anybody. The reason why that is because when they have that awakening, when they go through this rebirth, they pretty much have to question their identity. They question their whole reality. They wonder if things that they've gone through, if like whatever it is they've done, or the people that they hang out with, was it actually worth it? Was it actually like good for me? You know, they start to question if their friends were good for them, their parents were good for them, their own past actions and behaviors. So they're pretty much going through a whole entire evaluation of their life and like all their shit. And if it's not within this one instant moment in time, they will start to ask questions. They will start to wonder, okay, what the hell happened? Or like, why is this happening? So that small question, or that pretty fat question, whatever it is that made them ask that question to themselves, it led them down the rabbit hole. And sometimes for others, it's kind of like a big smack in the face, and it's like everything at once. And some people end up realizing that their friends aren't good for them. Like, there's going to be certain chosen ones that are going to be like, oh shit, like, yeah, my friends aren't good for me. They've been treating me like this the whole time and I didn't realize it. Or I've been a chronic people pleaser this whole time and I didn't realize it. Or I've been such an asshole to all my friends and I didn't realize it. And I've been using people and I didn't realize it. Everyone has their different starting points. Like, all the chosen ones, they have a different starting point, and you know what goes on within their life, right? At the end of the day, they really just needed to connect to source. You know, they had to connect back to source. They had to connect back to God. It became more of a spiritual thing. Another reason why chosen ones have zero friends is because they have to choose wisely who their friends are going to be, because now they know that they can't just be friends with anybody. Not only will they not always feel like they're going to be able to relate to everyone, they see how asleep everybody is. So it's really hard to find friends that actually get you and vibe with you and resonate with you on that level. It's tough, bro. It really is fucking tough. I'm not gonna lie, it is tough. You know, like, me personally, I don't have that many friends. I really don't. I don't have that many friends. I even had to cut off an old friend because I thought that we were on a similar path. I'm not gonna lie, like, I thought that we were on a similar path. And in a sense, yeah, he was also on self-improvement. Things that I saw in him and like that he proved to me. Not only did he disrespect me, but at the same time, it's just like, I saw a lot of things that he was just like doing that was just based off the ego, and he never really like accepted whatever it was. It was almost like he didn't realize he was being driven by ego. And I'd tell him multiple times, hey man, like, please check yourself. A lot of the times, man, chosen ones, the people that are considered to be chosen ones, sometimes they know too much. You know, like, we know a little too much for our own good, and we see too much, or we're able to perceive too much, you know? I think God gave that to us. Don't get me wrong, I think God gave us that ability, but when you actually live it, and you walk around society, and you try to live a normal life, you can't exactly live a normal life, you know? Not only do you have these responsibilities of having these abilities to see things and, you know, having to use them properly, but you also want to try to live a normal life. And when you do, and you try to like make friends, bro, it's like you start to really put down your boundaries of who you should have around you and who you shouldn't have around you. And then you start wondering, okay, like, is this a good person to hang out with? And the cool part is, like, you'll be able to tell. You'll be able to read vibes very quick. People that are considered to be chosen ones, or that have awareness and they're pretty emotionally healthy, but are very also empathic, they could sense that shit, dude. They could sense who's actually making them feel safe and who's not making them feel safe, and who is actually like good to be around and who isn't. And also remember this, guys, like, this is important to know. It's not like all of a sudden the quote-unquote chosen one has been given all these powers and stuff out of the blue. Yes, God did aid them. I believe that God aids a chosen one, but at the same time, like, because you're on the physical plane, on the planet, you still have to like take the action to develop yourself as a person and to, like, you know, make things happen, to expand your horizons and your knowledge, your wisdom. A chosen one didn't just receive the powers, nor did he expect to be considered a chosen one. You know, it kind of seems kind of silly because this is hella overplayed. See, a chosen one doesn't all of a sudden get his powers. He doesn't just get his ability to see like things clearly and, you know, have the discernment and decide who's who and who they want in their life, and, you know, the empathy and all that. They don't just have that. Those are abilities that are learned. And sometimes they have abilities that they gain from childhood. The things they learn or develop throughout their time and just living life. In a sense, it becomes wisdom, right? Yeah, it's not something that is just all of a sudden handed to them. I don't want people thinking that this is like magic. Yeah, man, chosen ones, like, it's gonna be hard for them to find friends. Because if they think they have good friends already, and then all of a sudden they're like leveling up in their life, they're the ones kind of leading the energy. In my opinion, the one that, since they have like the energy to progress and move forward, they're the ones that bring that up. So it's their responsibility to be the measuring stick for their friendships. And when their friendships, or their friends I should say, can't meet the standard, or at least like try to, then that's where like they typically would cut them off, because, you know, you guys aren't meeting at a certain wavelength. And chosen ones are typically the ones that end up ending the friendships in the first place, because they realize that fucking their friends aren't meeting them where they want to be. Like, their friends aren't at the same level as them, and that's not to be an egotistical person. That's just coming from like a standpoint of like realizing your value and your worth, and like you wanting to be at a certain place, and you're not tolerating shit anymore. Like, your boundaries have gone up. So like when a chosen one does that, that means that they're leveling up as a person. It's also part of fulfilling God's plan that he has planned for you. Now, when it comes to a chosen one dating, I know I shouldn't get started on this, but man, it's a juicy topic. See, there's a good chance that that person is going to be alone for quite some time. You know, they'll find someone every now and then because like that person clicks with that person, like literally a genuine connection. And sometimes they'll also fall into the traps of like, you know, a false twin flame, or like a karmic relationship, things like that, right? These things are bound to happen, especially when you're growing as a person. Like at the end of the day, they're still a person. They just have more awareness. They're just more conscious about like what they're doing and about others, and like, you know, about things in general. They don't just walk into some shit. They have common sense as well, but their senses and their intuition is just more heightened, I should say. And to add on to them being in relationships, like when they find a person that they really like and they're on the same level, bro, that shit's magical. That shit's amazing, right? And they actually help each other grow. They help each other grow. They help each other be better people. And sometimes it could be bad because they also are so deep and so into it that like they trigger each other. Two chosen ones that could end up dating each other can trigger each other real bad because like they have so much wisdom, so much knowledge, and so much self-awareness about themselves and in essence with each other, that like when they start calling each other out on shit or doing things that the other one like doesn't like, but they know it, they don't realize it's a trigger, man, it's tough. It is tough. And I think that's what they call like twin flame relationships. Apparently they don't always last. A lot of relationships don't always last. Anyways, at the end of the day, bro, like chosen ones, they just want to live in peace. The people that are considered chosen ones, they just want to live in peace. They want to be happy. They want to strive, and like they're always by themselves, or they're gonna typically be by themselves a lot of the time because they understand what it is to be with other people that don't vibe with you. They don't resonate with you. It's like you might as well just be fucking lonely. You know, you might as well just be fucking lonely, which is not fun, right? When we think about being lonely, it's typically not considered to be fun. But if you're at peace with yourself, if you're in harmony with yourself, you know, you're happy in a sense, and you have a feeling of contentness, you should be chilling by yourself, bro. Like, there's no issue. You're good. So yeah, guys, to sum it all up for you, they have a hard time finding friends because they as people have a higher sense of intuition. They became aware, like they're awake. They're aware of themselves. They have self-awareness. And so like when they see other people that are like either inconsiderate or asleep, or they don't have that higher level thinking, then it's hard for them to relate with them. So it's like they rather just not gonna fucking talk to these people just because they don't feel like it's worth their time. Essentially, it's almost like a person that's also like very intelligent, but they're so fucking intelligent that like it's hard for them to relate to others. I'd say is a little different just because like there's a spiritual aspect that's also involved in it. And if you're fucking awake too, if you have awareness, and if you're not asleep, you'll see when we walk around in society how many people are like fucking just still in the system. They're still in the matrix, like they're matrix minded. I think it's easier for me to use that lingo because it's kind of a mainstream thing now. But like when they made the movie The Matrix, yo, they weren't lying. They weren't fucking playing. You know, they were able to make that movie just because it entertained the masses, and they formatted it in a way that, you know, entertained the masses, and it just fit a Hollywood description, and people wouldn't think too much of it, right? But as time passed on, and I'm pretty sure back then, even during that time, people knew the deal, but it just reflected society, that movie. That's pretty much what the intention of that movie was, to show how things truly were, you know? We got Agent Smiths everywhere, bro. We got Agent Smiths all over the goddamn place. And if that's the case, that's fine. As long as we got hella Neos running around here too, that's cool too. When it comes to Morpheus, he's technically supposed to be considered God, but they're not gonna say he's God in the movie because that's gonna like piss off a lot of people, especially in religion. But they did do a good job because, like, in a sense, he technically was supposed to act as God and lead Neo in the right direction, but he gave him free will during that whole time. It's just that, you know, he didn't tell him exactly what was going to happen, but he was giving him hints of, like, if he goes this way, that way, you have the option to choose this or that, you know? And then, like, red pill, blue pill, I'm not talking about, like, you know, for dating and shit, but I'm talking about in the movie. Blue pill was basically you stay asleep. You stay asleep, you stay oblivious to, like, all the bad shit, all the crazy shit that's going on, and, like, pretend it's okay, and, like, you know, the government's gonna take care of you. You know, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be living off of whatever it is, and, like, everything's gonna be okay. You know, you'll be fine. And then, like, over here on this side, you have the truth. On the red pill side, you have the truth. And I think that's why, like, we have a lot of people that are fucking bitter, like hella bitter ass dudes that go to red pill. Don't get me wrong, I used to be a bitter ass dude too, and I did the quote unquote red pill movement for a little bit, and then I realized that it was fucking up my thought patterns and my relationships with women because I was hating on people. But that's another story for another time. In this case, red pill was the truth. It revealed to you everything that was actually going on behind the scenes. It was telling you about how all these things are always fucking distractions. And, like, in this case, like, the internet is a distraction. You know, hella stupid things online is a distraction. Adult content is distraction. You know, for a guy, like, dating a bunch of women and women in general can be a distraction. And for a woman, like, dating a bunch of different guys can be a distraction, right? And I'm excluding if that person is truly your person, okay? Like, intentional dating, that's different. If you're really dating someone or you find that person that's for you, sweet. And, like, there's nothing about that. But I'm saying continuously dating just for fun and, like, getting as many girls as possible or getting as many guys as possible, that's just a waste of time. That's like a distraction. I think that it's good in a sense where you're, like, having a sense of experience, but as I gotten older, I realized that, like, it is a waste of time. It is a fucking waste of time to, like, connect with all these random people or go out of your way to go talk to all these people when fucking they don't fit who you are as a person. You know, it's not by God's will, it's not by his design, it's fucking by your design. And your design is usually gonna be flawed every fucking time. You know, sometimes it looks like it's not flawed on paper. Sometimes it's not. And there's a saying also, like, Mother Nature makes shit happen organically. And when you go out of your way all the time chasing after girls, chasing after guys, like, that shit's not organic, it's forced, bro. That's some GMO type shit. Anyways, guys, chosen ones, they're gonna stay lonely for a cool minute, but, like, it's not gonna be forever. There's gonna be a person in your life that you'll meet, that you'll find, and that you'll truly love. And you'll also find your tribe. And that is what it is. So with that being said, if you like the video, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, as well as the bell, so you know when I'll be posting videos just like this. And until next time, much love. Peace out.